We are so close to Crisis on Infinite Earths. All across the Arrowverse, shows have started leading into this massive event, and we cannot wait to watch it all unfold. The one character who we know is coming remains a big mystery, and that is the Anti-Monitor. We know he's going to play a huge part in the event, but who exactly is he? Check out the rest of the video to find out.
I'm not afraid of you. Not impressed by you.
The Arrowverse is sparing no energy ramping up their upcoming crossover event, Crisis on Infinite Earths. We're catching glimpses of a handful of Superman Easter eggs, character designs, and more. But the one thing we haven't seen yet is the guy who is supposed to be the big bad of the whole event, the Anti-Monitor. If you know the comic books, you probably know that his appearance has been a long time coming. But if you don't, we're here to give you all the details you need to know about the Anti-Monitor. Ever since LaMonica Garrett took time out of his busy slam ball schedule to make his debut as the Monitor in the Elseworlds crossover last season, serious fans of the comic books knew his counterpart was coming. You can't have a Monitor without an Anti-Monitor, and introducing the character seemed like a giant hint that Crisis on Infinite Earths was in the works. And they were right. A year later, we now have every show in the Arrowverse building up to this universe-shaking event. And the Monitor has so far played an integral role. He originally showed up in Elseworlds to let Green Arrow and the Flash know that they should both prepare for their respective demises, which wasn't an ominous or startling thing to do whatsoever. While we have been led to believe that he is one of the good guys, the Monitor has secretly been working with Layla, who was just revealed to be Harbinger, and he explicitly asked Laurel to betray Oliver. We're getting a lot of mixed signals about this guy, and a recent revelation in Arrow has made a few others in the Arrowverse suspicious of his motives as well.
You must be the Monitor.
How do you know?
In Arrow, we recently learned that the League of Assassins met a god from way back when, who swore to end all of existence once the balance of good and evil was disturbed, which is a lofty goal if we've ever heard one. Oh yeah, and he has the same face as the Monitor. It seems like audiences and Arrowverse characters are being told to be wary of the Monitor and his motivations. But the thing is, we have literally been warned that the Anti-Monitor is on his way and will be the bringer of doom during the crisis. Not to mention the fact that he is also being played by LaMonica Garrett and looks like an evil version of the Monitor who has been a lot less diligent about his use of sunscreen for the last million years. Chances are, the god from the book that Arrow found isn't the Monitor, but the Anti-Monitor.
But the survival of the multiverse requires that you obey mine.
So all of those budding suspicions have been prematurely quelled. Telling us months ago that he is going to arrive doesn't seem to defeat a little, if not all, of that mystery that they're building up about the Monitor, but we still have a ton of questions about his anti-counterpart. Now all we have to do is meet the guy. So who is the Anti-Monitor? Are he and the Monitor working together? Who came up with the name, and should they have tried a little harder? Maybe taken a creative writing class in college?
You should have said further.
Are you challenging me, Mr. Wallace?
We've got all the answers for you, so keep watching. Before we jump in, take a sec and subscribe to CBR to help us bypass that pesky new YouTube algorithm and keep bringing you all of the latest Arrowverse news. And if you're on mobile, make sure you turn on your notifications in the YouTube settings. Now back to the video. In the comic books, the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor exist as mirror versions of each other. The Anti-Monitor who wants to end the universe, and the Monitor who, doesn't. But how did they come to be? The Anti-Monitor was born in, you guessed it, the antimatter universe, as an excess of a whole bunch of energy taking a physical form. The Monitor was born under similar circumstances but in the positive matter universe. You can see where this is going. Because he was born in the negative universe, the Anti-Monitor was pretty much a bad guy from the start, with an unquenchable thirst for conquering. He messed around for a while, feeding off of evil energy and living his best life. But once he sensed the presence of the pro-Monitor out there, just smiling at people, handing out daisies, and trying to have a good time without all that negative energy, man, the Monitor devoted himself to a million-year-long war with him. Seems like a bit of an overreaction, but as someone who munches on evil like it's a bowl of frosted mini-wheats, not altogether surprising. Bad vibes, bro. As the war progressed, a whole bunch of stuff happened, and at the end of a million years, both the Monitor and Anti-Monitor wound up losing consciousness and essentially went into hibernation. Which, honestly, sounds great. 9 billion years of straight chilling later, a nice-sounding fella named Pariah appeared in the universe. Oh yeah, and he just happened to be the greatest scientist of all time.
Nash Wells, multiversal explorer and provider of scientific miracles.
After mucking around and learning the origins of the universe, Pariah ended up freeing the two monitors. And the anti-monitor did a very predictable and pretty rude thing, to be honest. He destroyed Pariah's positive matter universe, leaving him alone in an antimatter chamber for millions of years, before setting out to destroy all of the positive matter universes in existence. Typical anti-monitor shenanigans. The monitor realized what his evil twin was up to, and was not just about to let that happen. But first, he endowed Pariah with two curses: immortality, and the curse of being transported to every universe at the moment of its destruction. As a thank you for waking him up after 9 billion years, the monitor then went about setting up a bunch of protections around a few different Earths. Then the anti-monitor manipulated the monitor's buddy, Harbinger, to take out the monitor. And you know what? We're gonna let the CW take care of the rest. We're not sure when they're finally going to unleash him across the Arrowverse, but after all of this build-up, you know it's going to be huge. And that's pretty much all you need to know about the anti-monitor.
You're not a god.
Yet there isn't a name for what I am, so I suppose God will have to do.
What are your thoughts about it all? Do you know his origins from the comic books, or are you watching it all unfold on TV? When do you think we'll catch our first glimpse of the anti-monitor? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.